thing I know for certain is that there's no reason I should be alive, and yet I am. And that means I have to keep going.
Well, so, I mean, I think with my generation, I don't really know if it's that, like, there's a lack of care on their end. I just don't know if it's as present in, like, the learning environment that is as important to learn about it these days. So I think that, like, there's a lack of education that's not their fault necessarily, not our fault, Gen Z. But I think it's, like, it's super important to keep these stories alive and keep history alive to remind people of course the atrocities that happened, but also like the beautiful hope within this story and resilience and love that this family shared. It's a beautiful take on how important family is. And so I think that this particular story, it just sheds a different kind of light on that period of time in history.
Well, I feel like we've had it for a while because we've known each other for a bit. The whole family, we spent a lot of time together before we started filming. Tommy, our director, producer, and Erica Lopez, and everybody, and the bosses, the ones who ran the show, it created a really nice environment for us to get to know each other, to form a bond. Our rehearsal process was great, and we had a lot of time to just get to know each other and break down those walls you have with a stranger and become a family.
I think it just working on a project like this, it was so, there was so many emotions going into it, and I think that, like, when discussing the project with other people, it made them feel so much too. It brought up feelings of, tragedy and also hope, and I feel like we just got we experienced a lot of love from people when we would talk to them about the show, and whether that was them expressing their own family's history or just wanting to share about how much it means to them that the show is being made, or if they have no connection to Judaism or the Holocaust in any way, just having nice conversations about the subject matter, and it's just nice to talk. It's really, really nice to talk to people about this show because we're so proud of what we made, and we really believe it's a beautiful telling of one family's experience in this horrible situation. And having that be like a jumping off point in conversation for people to kind of share with us what it means to them, this show, I can't wait to see more of that when people actually get to see the show and see it come out, because already it's been wonderfully overwhelming to hear from people who are excited to see it.
This show was really challenging in a lot of ways. So many different elements to consider, like, for instance, my character's a musician, and I had to learn all the songs that he wrote, and that on top of everything, our dialects, everything. But the hardest thing is always, connecting with the emotion of a particular scene on a particular day. And these were really challenging scenes to explore. So getting there, and feeling comfortable in our characters and in our scenes, I mean, that's the hardest job, and especially with challenging material.
We had such a lovely environment of people around us. Not only the wonderful cast that we work with, but the crew. We shot this in Romania, and the people over there are just absolutely fabulous. So we had a really nice time, a really good support system. So it was really tough. It got really emotional at times, but it was really nice to have the release of just super wonderful people around us to feel comfortable around, to feel like, gosh, that scene was so hard. I can just like kind of walk off and crack some jokes with like my friends who are playing my brothers or my sister-in-law. Like, it's just like nice to have that outlet, because it is so serious, and in order to kind of just keep your sanity, it's hard to totally live in that darkness for the entirety of like the shoot. But it was really necessary to do that, but it was really nice to have those releases of joy as well.
And I feel like we all managed it very well, and a big part of it was that we were a family making it, and we supported each other, and when any one of us had a hard day, I think we were all checking in on that person.
We really rallied around each other.
Yeah, and we socialized after work and would talk through our experiences, and there's a lot of support.
I also think there's something to be said about when you become so close with someone, that comfortable silence is just easy.
Yeah.
That's how close we all became.
Mm-hmm.
It was we didn't have to be, entertaining each other all the time. There was a true familial comfortability between all of us where it's if you had a hard day and you just want to sit with people, you don't really want to talk about it, that was also an option, which was really nice.